1, 2, 3, and...
Welcome back to All Tech Radio, and I'd like to welcome back once again Michael Hess from Skooba. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you very much. Nice to be back.
Well, we're glad to have you, and we're very excited to hear all about the new checkpoint-friendly laptop bags that Skooba makes. And first of all, is the name Skooba, where do we get that from?
It's almost too long a story to tell it. At the end of the day, it's become kind of a meaningless little sort of rhythmic word, but its origins are in the materials we used to use to make most of our bags. We used a lot of neoprene wetsuit material, same thing used in scuba diving suits, and we just came up with our own spelling of scuba because of the material, but it wound up just taking on a life of its own and becoming just a hopefully memorable name.
Well, it's definitely memorable, and
well, it sounds like if it works for Google, Scuba's pretty close. So.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Wasn't the plan at the time. I don't think Google existed, but still,
well,
we'll take.
We're actually going to start a new company called Skoogle, so I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can search for any bag you want as long as it's ours.
Very good. Well, tell us all about the new checkpoint-friendly bags.
Well, briefly for people who aren't aware of it, we and other bag companies worked with the Transportation Safety Administration last year to develop a set of standards or guidelines by which laptop bags could be developed that would be allowed through airport X-ray screening without having to remove the laptop, which is one of the bigger of the many hassles that people have to face now when they're traveling. So we worked very closely with the TSA and also with the major X-ray machine manufacturers to develop our version of the checkpoint friendly bag. There are others out there, but we have our own version, which we call Check Through, and has patents pending on it and a fairly unique design. And we introduced originally 2 Check Through bags, when the program started, a brief, which is kind of a large, carry-all, and then a slimmer messenger bag. And our newest introductions as of this week are a backpack and a rolling version. And all of them function in the same basic way, which is that they unfold in the middle, and they have a window, which is not for X-ray purposes, but really so that the TSO, Transportation Safety Officer, gets an immediate recognition that it's a checkpoint-friendly type bag and minimizes the chances that they'll ask questions about whether there's a laptop inside. And so far, of the tens of thousands of bags that we've sold, we've never had a single customer let us know by phone or email that they've had a problem at any checkpoint. And I've probably had mine through 100 checkpoints since we started, and have not only have never had a problem, but usually the officers compliment the bag and want to know where I got it, which is very easy for me to answer. So at any rate, the laptop is allowed to go through inside the bag as long as it's used properly, and that's all written in the instructions. And the other advantage of it, aside from just speeding up the process and having one less thing for people to take out and gray trays to deal with and all that, is that it helps protect the laptop from damage and theft. I believe the most recent statistic is that 60,000 laptops are lost or stolen in airports every year. Pretty meaningful number, and obviously keeping it in the bag is a way to greatly reduce the chance of that happening. So the bag has a lot of benefits, and when we came out with the first 2, we were inundated with calls. When are you going to have a backpack? When are you going to have a rolling version? When are you going to have a suitcase? All those things. So we're happy to have the backpack and roller out this week.
Well, that's very good. And I'm curious about how the TSA has been educated on knowing that your bags will work without having to be taken out. Is this something that you train them on?
It's a very good question. It's the first question most people ask. And actually, backtracking a little bit, when they announced this program, actually the public response was pretty negative. People who were writing on travel forums and technology forums online, most of them were poking fun at the TSA that this was going to be another bureaucratic nightmare and it would never work, and there would be rioting in the security lines, and there's no way the officers are going to know one bag from the other, and gloom and doom and the sky is falling and all that. Well, luckily none of that has happened, and that, to your point, all of the officers were trained, and a set of protocols were sent out by the TSA immediately upon approval of the program, telling the officers what the 3 main types or configurations are of checkpoint-friendly bags. And actually, your listeners can go to TSA.gov and put checkpoint-friendly in the search box, and they'll see the actual silhouettes and guidelines that make up a checkpoint-friendly bag, which are the same ones that the TSOs use. And then they also put signage up at almost all airports, pretty much everyone I've been to, showing what general types of bags are checkpoint friendly. They always have the caveat that they can search any bag they want at any time for any reason, and you pretty much can't blame them. That's their job. But if the bag is made properly and used properly, meaning that the laptop is alone in the scanning compartment and not crammed with wires and shampoo and other stuff, then there's no problem. If people don't use it right, then most likely they're going to get dinged and get pulled over for secondary screening. So they were trained in all that, and like I said, I have yet to have not so much as a second look. I unfold it, they see what it is, and at first you see them look out of the corner of their eye, and then they know, and it goes through the machine. And one of the nice things about our particular design is that it's a grab and go kind of design. You don't have to redo anything to leave the screening area. You just grab the handle and the bag refolds itself, and you can zip it up later if you want. The laptop is always sealed inside it, so you can just grab it and leave the security area and tidy up later. So that's a nice benefit as well. And that's pretty much what happens. You unfold it at the beginning, they take a quick look. As you go by, it comes out the other end, and you leave.
Well, that's very cool. That's great. And if you, besides going to TSA.gov and type in checkpoint friendly, you can also go to SkoobaDesign.com. That's SKOOBA design.com. And you can also check out their new netbook products, which are coming out for the holidays. Well, Michael Hess from Skooba, we appreciate you being on the show. And we'll be back with more after this break from the All Tech